Buddy Paul Foster here with Secondhand Productions, and today we're going to talk to you about a short film called Ayame. This is a 5-minute short that was actually posted to YouTube by the channel Dust, who does a lot of sci-fi and thriller type short films. And this one kind of caught my attention mainly because of the visuals, and that's why I watched it. But I think this is a prime example how you can't get by on visuals alone. And while it's visually interesting and appealing, it's kind of lacking on the story. But we're going to get into that. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Life. It is an endless struggle. At any given moment, a star may collapse, a seed may germinate, and an entire species can vanish from the face of the earth. Yet, with all of its success, its failures, all its strengths and weaknesses, life is constant. And those who choose to stand against it simply crumble in its wake.
Right out the gate, we get this really cool visual. You've got this mask laying on the ground. You got snowflake. I always say snow makes it better. You know, anytime you can have snow in any kind of a production, it just all of a sudden just feels like it's higher quality for some reason. Now everybody knows. I mean, you watch this, you know there's some CGI involved. You know there's some visual effects being applied here, and that's totally cool because the narration right at the beginning of this is really good. You know, it's establishing some kind of parameters within the environment by which this whole short film takes place. It's the universe, which is good. So it's like whenever you're doing a short film and you don't have a lot of dialogue, which this short film doesn't have really any dialogue outside of this narration, it's kind of important to give the audience something. Give them a point of origin or some kind of place to start. This short film does a really good job of that. And he's talking about how life and how fleeting and how, you know, in a moment it could be snatched up and all your flaws can be irrelevant. All your successes could be irrelevant because you can an entire species can go extinct just like that. I thought that was really kind of well put. And then we, you know, so we got that. Let's move on and see what else they got. So I think it's fair to point out right about here, this is, I mean, it's obvious we have a matte painting in the background. We've got a set in the foreground, and this character's being green screen. How much, I don't know, but it's really important that you pay attention to everything. Short films are really critical. You got to pay attention to everything, and so all this text on the right side here is really important because it's part of the story, and without it, you know, you really doesn't tell the whole story. So it tells you right now, it's 240 degrees Kelvin, which is about negative 27 degrees Fahrenheit. Don't ask me Celsius, I don't know. I actually looked that up, so just don't think I'm smart or anything. So it's negative 27 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's pretty freaking cold. This is not a bad green screen shot, by the way, this overhang, and you can actually kind of see the outline of her legs kind of sticking over where it's laying on top of the green screen off the snow. So, technically speaking, you know, while it's entertaining, it's good. If you want to get into the technical aspects of the CGI, we can do that too. Alright. My first question is, if it's negative 27 degrees, why are we taking off the jacket? I would think that skin-tight suit would be not the most comfortable in that kind of weather. And we find out this is, if you haven't figured it out yet, this is a female who is now, for some reason, disconnecting with, I can only imagine, some kind of a breathing apparatus that was obviously sustaining her. Why she's taking it off, I don't know. I do like the North Carolina deer hunting, skin tight suit she's got on. Deer hunting here. And here's another part that kind of gets me is I don't understand the skin. I mean, I'm thinking she's ripping her head off. But she's really, it's like a membrane of some sort, and she's kind of pulling her head out. Visually, this is good stuff. Of course, yeah, alright, so she's doing the Neo thing. I don't remember if Neo from Matrix had a tube down his throat or not. But she's gonna pull that out and then whip her head back. Oh, look at that beautiful bloodshot. Yeah. Alright, so then we kind of fast forward, she's flopping forward. I'm not really sure why she's got lipstick on. She goes from no lipstick to no lipstick. It's kind of these are the continuity problems that people run into. Not really sure if you have to have that helmet on. If at what point do you put the lipstick on? So, and we gotta. I mean, these are all nice shots. It's a good color grade. It's entertaining from that, because you keep asking yourself, okay, what's going on here? I think that's the big thing I'm walking out of this whole short film with is what's the goal, what's the objective? And here is honestly where the short film loses me. That is kind of cliche. She's just standing there in negative 27 degrees. And I don't understand why. You know? That doesn't make sense to me. So, to kind of convey, you know, I looked at some of the comments, and right out the gate, you see this thing's been watched about 30,000 times, a little bit more than 31,000 times. It's got 728 likes and 354 likes, and I guarantee you, the problem here is the 354 dislikes are because we didn't really tell a story. We gave some descriptive. You get that narration in the beginning that really, in the end, while it might be part of the story, it's not directly connected to what we're watching. And I think that's where the problem lies. Visually, it's entertaining. It's beautifully shot. I thought it was very creative. You know, you pull the hoses off and you pull the skin around the head, and that's unique stuff. The cylinders draining and purging, I thought that was kind of unique. It's something I hadn't seen before, so that's good stuff. But ultimately, no matter how cool that looked, you're missing something. All these 354 people that disliked it, I mean, they took the time to dislike. And then you look at the 283 comments, and I've read quite a few of them. There's some of them that just, they're describing exactly what I'm describing. Bailey writes, okay, it's a place meant to portray a situation visually and with some sick, kick-ass narration. That part's true. I get that. As such, there's no plot. Bingo, nailed it. I get that too. But to end the scene with a beautiful woman, long hair flowing, in skin-tight outfit, negative 27 degrees Fahrenheit, hip out, holding a big damn weapon, is just so stereotypical that whatever unique quality the film creator was shooting for was squandered. Sorry, I'm no fan. I will say that the gun on the hip thing, at first it ran too long. It served no purpose other than a photo op. It didn't move the story forward. And when you're talking about short films, the idea is to tell a story in a very short period of time. Give the audience a question that they're going to ask themselves. And it's got to go beyond, what did I just watch? What was that? Yeah, I'm not trying to tear this particular project down. I think what's missing here is the connection between the narration and what we see visually. I don't think most people would actually take the time to read the pop-up text, you know, the computerized text there, which gives you a little bit of information. Where is she escaping from? Now, if you read the description on this, it says, this proof of concept acts as a taste into a cold, diesel-soaked world where an impending disaster looms. Facing total extinction, a military operation turns to the stars in order to relocate the entire human race. During the exodus, one man is sent to rescue his former comrade after she mysteriously disappears while executing covert operation off-world. Okay, where was that in what we just watched? Unfortunately, it wasn't there. I think that's cool. Cold diesel soaked world. Where are we talking about? Because, are we talking about Earth? Are we talking about this other planet where she's at? It sounds like we're talking about the other planet where she's at. If so, then we're missing something. If you would have given us, in the narration, you would have provided this information, right? Give us something more than the woman climbing up on the hill and kind of pulling her helmet out and taking the thing out of her throat and spitting blood and taking the jacket off. Negatives 27 degrees Fahrenheit. Right? Give us more than that, because really what this is while it's beautifully shot, it's very cinematically attractive. It doesn't tell a story, and that's why you got all the negative responses, man. So I think that's where the flaw comes in. And I know it sounds like I'm tearing this down. I'm really not tearing this down. The lesson to be learned here from everybody: you can have the most beautiful, well-intentioned, and great cinematic shot, but if there's no dialogue somewhere, the audience has to get it from somewhere, and it can't be from the description below the film. Secondly, and foremost, a short film is a proof of concept. You don't have proof of concepts for a short film. Somewhere down in here in this information, someone said, "Hey, cut him some slack. This was a proof of concept. Wait for the final short. Wait for the full short film to be released." And I was just like, "We're kidding, right?" That's what a short film is. A short film is a proof of concept. All right. The idea behind a short film, especially when you have a great idea, like this one appears to be a great idea, and obviously there's some talent behind it. You can do the task at hand. I'm not gonna nitpick the CGI on that. It looks good. It looks quality. It looks solid. I could sit here and find flaws in it if I wanted to stare hard enough. I'm not going to do that. But the bigger point here is, if you're going to do a proof of concept, you got to give us more. You just got to give us a little bit more. You have a great shot there. The girl standing up with the gun on their hip. I probably would have skipped past that, honestly. I probably would have shown a little bit about why she's where she's at, what's she doing there, what's the premise, what's the objective of her mission. Okay, what happens? Give us a little bit of that, and then you have a really, really good short film. So I think that's why you got the negative responses. Obviously 31,000 people, and you still had a 2-to-1 ratio on likes to dislikes. But, like I said, if you tell the story, this is a winner. You don't have, if you just gave us a little bit of a story with this, man, I'm telling you, you go from 31,000 views to 2.5 million views. I've watched short films with less quality in the cinematics and the overall presentation and the audio, but they had the story, and it's 1.2 million views. So that's all it's missing. So for everybody that's watching this, I hope you enjoyed watching this, my take on this short film. I love the short film. I think it's cool. Definitely go support it. It's on Dust. I don't know who the filmmaker was. I don't know who the cinematographer was. I don't know who did the visual effects. It's really kind of kept as hush-hush. I hope they come out with something a little bit more in-depth for the audience, for the viewers, so we can get a better take on what they're doing. But it's a great concept. You just want more. Now, you can say that's a short film in itself, because that's what short films do. But you want them to ask you a question more. They got to ask you a question that's beyond, what did I just watch? You know what I mean? So, that being said, I hope you enjoyed this short review. Definitely hit me up on Twitter at Paul_SHP. That is Twitter at Paul_SHP. And if you like what you saw, definitely hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, hit the bell, and share this to all your friends and neighbors and your cousins and so on. Until then, we will see you next time. Going back to work. See you guys.